The Darkest History from Every Amusement Park in Pennsylvania, Part 2! Certainly we should start with Waldemere Park, which famously endured the curse of 1938, which began with their Rainbow Gardens dance hall burning down, followed by their Bluebeard's Castle ride burning down, then someone threw a box of carpet tacks on their children's automobile ride, puncturing the ride's tires. There were a bunch of pickpockets targeting people. Then, of course, there was the horrific tale of the first ravine flyer, which stalled on this portion of the track crossing Peninsula Drive. 19-year-old stands up to see what's wrong and falls down onto the street below. He does not survive the injuries from that 30 feet fall. Moving on to Idlewild, we got. In 1966, visitors could see their chimpanzee Boom Boom in the Frontier Safariland. When this attraction would close, park operator William Holmberg would look after Boom Boom, keeping them in a former car dealership till he could sell them to the New York Medical Center's Surgery in Primates. However, when transferring Boom Boom from his home cage into the transport cage, he escaped. Boom Boom then attacked a vet that was supposed to carry him to the medical center, removing his ear, thumb, and 2 fingers. Moving on to Del Grosso's, we got their family go-kart attraction. They decided to name it after the Altoona Tipton Speedway, which is a horrible name for a children's ride if you know the history of this speedway. This lethal 1920s racetrack was built entirely out of wooden planks. This doom trap would claim the lives of 3 Indianapolis 500 winners, including the legendary Ray Keech, who was violently crushed to death on the Tipton boards. Resurrecting this grim name for vacationing families was a weird choice. Alright, let's move on to Lakemont Park. This particular episode made it onto early 90s docudrama Rescue 911. These images are from the reenactment. When 17-year-old ride operator Chris Whitfield was working the Little Leaper kiddie coaster when the ride failed to catch the lift chain. Whitfield tried to help the train engage when it suddenly started moving. He got dragged and his right leg became mangled. Bystanders managed to control the severe bleeding until paramedics arrived. They would have to amputate this poor boy's leg. Going down at the land of little horses we have. Park visitors snuck in raw apples in plastic baggies. Moist, sealed environment caused the apples to ferment rapidly. When the park guests fed these apples to the park's precious donkeys, Dominic and Giuseppe, the poor donkeys contracted botulism and had to be put down. All right, let's finish off with the Crayola experience in Easton, Pennsylvania. Employees spotted 57-year-old Rue Joseph Loeb lingering inside the family attraction. They contacted the police, who arrested him for criminal trespass. Authorities discovered Loeb was a registered offender who had served 14 years for touching a 6-year-old boy. He had only been released 1 day before, who then immediately returned to Crayola experience for whatever nefarious reasons he had in mind.